Okay, so I've started the recording. Let's wait for a couple of minutes until your other colleagues arrive. Okay, so we wait. Other people will join when they join, so we'll start. Do you guys have any questions so far? Any question about anything that we have studied in this course? Have you guys seen those videos that I have posted on YouTube? Have you guys watched the videos? Okay. Any questions regarding anything? Come on, everybody knows everything?
I do have a question about the syllabus. It would pre-med be included in the final exam?
Yes, the pre-med will be included in the final exam.
Uh,
Any question about any topics of the course? Okay, so if you guys are not asking any questions, then let's play the same game that we played last time. I'll ask the questions then. Okay? So let me open a chapter about, let's say, we have this file system implementation chapter. So let me ask you questions from this chapter. Let me share the screen with you guys, but I'll try to ask questions that are not on the screen. Okay. So we have studied this chapter called file system implementation. So who is going to tell me what is a file system? It says there are only 12 of you who are attending this class, so you guys are not responding. So let me start from the beginning. 2018-028. Are you with us?
Assalamualaikum, sir.
Walaikum salam. Could you please tell us, before I ask you any question, do you have any questions regarding the course, any topic, except the question that I just asked?
सर नहीं, मेरा भी क्वेश्चन नहीं है, लेकिन मैंने भी ये चैप्टर्स से प्रॉपर्ली रीड नहीं किए.
Okay. Which chapters have you read so far?
सर semaphores तक.
Okay. So tell us, what is a semaphore?
Sorry, I'm telling you.
Okay.
सर सेमाफोर्स हम बेसिकली यूज करते हैं एज ए लॉक ही यूज होता है, एज ए कंडीशन वेरिएबल भी यूज करते हैं हम इसको.
But what is it? You're telling me what is it used for? But what is it actually? Is it hardware? Is it software? Is it code? Is it data? What is it?
It's software, it's a code.
Huh?
So it's a code. It's software, not hardware.
Okay, it's a software. You're saying it's a code.
Yes.
Okay, so what kind of code is it? Like in code, you can have an example of code. You can have main function, for loop, if else statement, while loop. What kind of code is this semaphore?
So हम दो इसमें functions use करते हैं, semWait और semPost.
Okay, we use each semaphore comes with two functions, semWait and semPost. That's good. Is there any data in this semaphore? Is there any data?
So any data like what?
I don't know. Does semaphore contain any data? You said there is functions like semPost and semWait.
Ji.
Is there any data associated with semaphore?
Sir, I have no idea about this.
Okay. Who can answer this question? Is there any data associated with the semaphore? Okay, I wanted to do a revision questions about those file system implementation, but since we have started on the semaphore, then I guess I'll continue with a few questions on semaphore to exhaust this topic. I mean, this will also be revision for you guys. And with these questions, I hope these questions help you make look at these things from a newer angle. Like when you read the chapters on this topic in the book, or when you saw the videos of the lectures, you might not have looked at these things from the same angle from which I am asking these questions. So who can tell me, is there any data associated with a semaphore?
Yes, sir, there is a variable x associated with it.
A variable what? Sorry?
X, in which semWait its value is incremented and in semPost it's incremented.
Okay, there's a variable associated, there's a value associated with it. Very good. It's stored in a variable. It might not be called x. X was in just as example that we used.
Yes.
Yeah, so very good. So there is a variable, a value associated with the semaphore, which is maintained inside the semaphore, and it is decremented in semWait and it is incremented in semPost. Okay, so semPost, we can say it's a data structure which has some data associated with it, and there's some code that we can call on this data structure, the semaphore. Okay. The code is like semWait and semPost, etc. And inside this data structure is maintaining some data among which there is a value which is incremented and decremented when these functions semPost and semWait are called. Good. Does the semaphore maintain any other data inside it apart from this value? What kind of information a semaphore would need to maintain? Think about what does semPost do? It increments the value and it does something else also.
It signals, I think.
It signals whom?
Signals the thread that has been put to sleep before by sem wait.
semWait. Good. And where is this information maintained that which thread is sleeping or waiting for which semaphore?
I think it is maintained in a queue.
And where is that queue?
Each semaphore has its own queue, I think.
Very good. Okay, so each semaphore has, along with that value, each semaphore also maintains a queue. Okay, and that queue keeps a record of which thread or which process is sleeping or waiting for this semaphore. Okay, so semaphore is a data structure which has this value, which is incremented and decremented, and in addition to that, a semaphore usually keeps record of which threads are waiting for the semaphore, so that when somebody calls semPost, semPost can go check this queue and wake one of these threads. Okay, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So we continue with our questions, and let's ask 2018-018. Are you with us? Hello, 2018-018. Are you with us? Okay, 2018-018 seems to be present only in name, and we can't elicit a response. Okay. 2018-116. Are you with us? 2018-116. Are you with us? Okay, 2018-116 also is not with us. So let me note these down, because these people, although they are connected, but since they are not responding, they will not be getting marked in attendance of this class. Let me just mark them down. So today we have 2018-018 and 2018-116. Twenty 195. Are you with us? Twenty 195. Are you with us? Okay. 2018-195 is not there as well. 2018-202. Okay. So we are playing a game. Either you ask a question from me about something that you don't know, or I'll ask a question from you.
सर मैंने अभी लास्ट के फाइल सिस्टम वाले चैप्टर अभी सही से पढ़े नहीं हैं, तो आप पूछ लें सर कोई पीछे से।
Okay, so if file systems you have not studied, then let us again continue with semaphore. What are the different uses of a semaphore? What can we use a semaphore for?
सर वो डेडलॉक्स वगैरह प्रिवेंट करने के लिए हम यूज़ करते होते हैं।
Okay, and if we use a semaphore to prevent a deadlock, how can we prevent a deadlock using a semaphore?
सर मतलब डेडलॉक ना हो इसलिए।
No, I mean preventing a deadlock and deadlock na ho are, yes, they are the same thing. But how can we use a semaphore to prevent a deadlock or to avoid a deadlock? Give us an example.
सर एग्जाम्पल है, मुझे खुद सर भूल गया, इसमें मैंने रिवाइज नहीं किया हुआ ये। फिर
Okay.
बात
So what else can I ask you? What are the different conditions necessary for a deadlock to happen?
सर जब क्या कहते हैं सारे थ्रेड्स जो हैं वो वेट करने लग जाते हैं एक दूसरे के लिए फोक एक्वायर करने के लिए, तो डेडलॉक की कंडीशन हो जाती है।
Yes, but in your book, he specifically mentions 4 conditions that are necessary for a deadlock to happen. Without that, a deadlock will not happen. What are those 4 conditions? One of them is related to this wait thing that you just mentioned.
सर वो एग्जैक्ट मुझे इस टाइम नहीं याद आ रही सर, वो रिफ्रेश नहीं हुआ हुआ, मेरे माइंड से निकल गया।
Okay. So tell me a question that you can answer. Okay, let me ask one last question from you. What can I ask? We discussed this in our last class. What's the difference between a process and a thread?
सर क्या क्वेश्चन सर फिर से बोले? प्रोसेस, डिफरेंस बिटवीन प्रोसेस एंड
A thread.
सर थ्रेड जो है सर वो स्टैक शेयर नहीं करता।
Okay, and what multiple threads, they do not share the stack, that's correct. What do they share? Multiple threads of the same program, what do they share?
सर एड्रेस स्पेस।
Good, they share the address space. What else? Within the address space, what do they share?
सर प्रोग्राम काउंटर्स वगैरह।
Do multiple threads share the program counter, the same program counter values? Program counters, I'm afraid, are not shared between different threads because different threads, they might be executing different code. Okay? Since they might be executing different code, so they will have different addresses in the program counter. Different addresses of different code are different. So you see, threads do not share the program counter values.
ओके सर।
But tell me one thing that threads share before I let you go.
से स्टैक शेयर करते हैं, सेम एड्रेस स्पेस होती है।
No, you just said that threads do not share the same stack, and I said yes, you're correct. Threads do not share the same stack.
एड्रेस स्पेस
Yeah, address space. Within the address space, what do they share? Address space is a very big thing. All those stacks that the threads are not sharing, they are also in the same address space, okay? But they are not sharing this part of the address space, which is allocated to different stacks. But there are some parts of the address space that threads share.
सर कोड सेक्शन शेयर करते हैं।
Very good. Very good. Okay, so threads share the code section. Good. Okay, so let's move to somebody else. (2018) 128. Are you with us?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay, so your friend here said that different threads, they do not share the stacks. Each thread is its own stack, and threads, they share the address space, and within address space they share the code section. What other portion of the address space the threads share with each other?
They share global variables and heap.
Very good. And what's the segment or section where the global variables are stored? What do we call that section?
So I don't remember.
Okay. So let's move to this file system implementation chapter. Can you tell us what is a file system?
So I haven't studied yet.
What have you studied in the course?
So till condition variables.
Okay. So if you have studied till condition variables, then tell us what's the difference between segmentation and paging?
Sorry, sir. Please repeat the question.
What is the difference between segmentation and paging?
So paging is dividing the memory into equal parts so that to avoid external fragmentation.
Good. And segmentation?
Segmentation is dividing the address space into different components like stack, different address space for different parts of the program. Like stack has its own address space, code has its own address space that can be placed at different places within the RAM.
There's a slight problem with what you said. You said code has its own address space and stack has its own address space. This statement, I mean these two statements, they have slight problem.
So the address space can be divided into segments that can be placed anywhere in the RAM.
Okay, and do code and stack, do they have their own address spaces or are they within the same address space?
So they are within the same address space.
Okay, and how many address spaces can a process have?
A single process has just one address space.
Good, okay. Okay, so yes, we divide the address space into different sections and allocate different sections within the same address space to stack, code, heap, etc. And then these, we call these sections segments, and then these segments are stored in RAM. What's the main problem with segmentation?
External fragmentation.
Good. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Let's move to next. 2018 146.
Yes,
Are you
sir.
there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can you tell us what is a file system?
Sir, I haven't studied file system, but I have studied concurrency problems.
Okay. And what about before concurrency? Have you studied things before concurrency or not yet?
Not yet, sir. I have to revise them.
Okay. So let's talk about concurrency problems. What is a deadlock?
In deadlock, there are two threads, and one have already acquired a lock, and other cannot acquire the same lock. So that's became a loop, dependency loop, and it creates a deadlock.
Okay. So both threads have acquired one lock and they are both waiting for trying to acquire the lock that other thread has acquired. Okay. So this way, this becomes a circular loop, as you said, dependency, and they are waiting in a circular loop. So that becomes a deadlock. And what happens when there is a deadlock? If there is
सर वो
dependency
प्रोसेस
between
प्रोसेस
yes,
वो ब्लॉक हो जाता है, मतलब आगे नहीं बढ़ पाता.
okay, and they remain blocked until when? When will they become unblocked?
Until सर वो लॉक रिलीज हो कोई उस वक्त.
Yes, but in this case, the example that you gave, the two threads, they are both engaged in a circular wait. In this case, will there be a release of lock?
No sir.
So then, until when will these two threads wait?
Infinite time I think.
Okay, good. So in deadlock, there is never any progress, and all the threads they wait for infinite threads. So you gave an example of circular wait between two threads. Is it possible to have a deadlock between more than two threads?
Yes sir. Like in dining problem or philosopher dining philosopher problem sir.
Good,
We
good. Okay.
studied.
So basically, it's a circular wait. It can be in any number of threads. Okay, it can be between two threads. It can be between 10 threads or 100 threads. Good. And then in that chapter, the book basically tells us there are four conditions that have to occur for a deadlock to happen. There are four conditions that are necessary for a deadlock to happen. Do you remember those four conditions?
No sir, I don't remember them exactly.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much, and we'll move further to the two we have done. 2018 2 to 4. Are you with us? Twenty eighteen 2 to 4. Are you with us? Okay, so 2018 2 to 4 is also not present. 2018 283. Are you with us? (2018) 283 has disconnected. 2018 283, are you with us? Okay, so 2018 283 is absent as well. 2018 300, are you with us? (2018 300), are you with us? Okay, so 2018 300 is also absent. 2018 341.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can you tell us what is a file system?
I haven't studied these last four videos. I haven't seen them. Sorry.
Okay. So what should I ask you questions about? Which topic?
You can ask me from semaphores or concurrency bugs of this.
Okay, so tell us what four conditions are necessary for a deadlock to happen.
Sir, mutual exclusion,
Good,
hold and wait.
good.
I think there is another one was circular wait
Circular wait, good,
and no preemption.
and no preemption. Very good. Okay, thank you. And next we need to 2018 379. 2018 379. Are you there with us? (2018 379), we are also counting you as absent. 2018 446. Are you with us? (2018 446). Are you with us? (2018 446). We are also counting you as absent. 2018 460.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can you tell us what is a file system?
सर आखिरी चैप्टर्स मैंने नहीं पढ़े.
Which chapters have you studied?
सर मेरा खुद का एक क्वेश्चन है आपसे लॉक्स वाले चैप्टर का.
Okay, first you ask your question and then I'll ask mine. Go ahead.
सर ये लॉक्स की इम्प्लीमेंटेशन की मुझे समझ नहीं आई.
Which part?
सर एज अ होल इन जनरल लॉक्स वाला जो था.
No. Tell me the chapter number, slide number.
सर लॉक्स का चैप्टर नंबर 28 है ना.
And what's the slide number?
सर स्लाइड तो नहीं, मैंने बुक खोली हुई है.
Okay. And tell me the page number in the book.
292.
292. Tell me the section number. Let me share this. Can you guys see this screen, the chapter with locks on my PDF?
Yes, sir. आ रहा है.
Okay. Tell me the section number because the page
Sir-
numbers are not the.
नहीं सर, ये लॉक्स इन जनरल जिस तरह अब ये पी थ्रेड के अंदर म्यूटेक्स लॉक्स वगैरह असाइनमेंट 3 के अंदर जिस तरह इंप्लीमेंट करने थे, मुझे नहीं समझ आ रहे थे कि किस तरह करने हैं ये.
No, that's not the implementation. That's the use of locks. In assignment, you are not supposed to implement them. You are just supposed to use the locks.
सर मतलब ऑब्वियसली इंप्लीमेंटेशन अगर समझ आएगी तो बंदा यूज को तभी कुछ करता है. मुझे लॉक्स का कॉन्सेप्ट ही नहीं समझ आया.
Okay. So, do you understand the concept of a thread? What is a thread?
यस सर, थ्रेड का आइडिया है मुझे. जो मल्टीपल थ्रेड्स होती हैं एक प्रोसेस के अंदर, मोड्स ऑफ एग्जीक्यूशन होते हैं कि अगर कोई प्रोसेस के अंदर कोई थ्रेड ब्लॉक हो जाए तो आप किसी और के टास्क के लिए नई थ्रेड स्टार्ट कर सकते हैं. और वो
Okay. If there are multiple threads in a process, they can all run concurrently. They can be doing different things or they can be doing the same things, but they can run concurrently. Is this
Sir,
thing
सर
clear to you?
मतलब फॉर एग्जांपल अगर एक प्रोसेस है उसके अंदर कोई हम लोग इनपुट आउटपुट का वेट कर रहे हैं तो वो प्रोसेस वहाँ पर ब्लॉक हो जाता है. तो अगर आगे हमने कोई और काम करना है उसके लिए हम लोग नई थ्रेड स्टार्ट करते हैं. तो लेकिन पिछली थ्रेड तो ब्लॉक होगी ना, तो ये भी कंकरेंसी में आता है या फिर मतलब मल्टीपल थ्रेड्स एक साथ चल रही हैं.
No, this is also concurrency when one thread is blocked and the other is running.
तो सर फिर लॉक की क्या जरूरत पड़ी?
Okay, so let us say that we have different threads that are running concurrently. Either they can be running in parallel on a multi-core system, or they can be running one by one, getting descheduled and scheduled on a single core system.
अच्छा,
Okay, is this scenario clear to you?
सही है सर.
Okay, so these threads, as your friends have said, they share global data. They can share global data.
सही है.
Okay, so if these threads are sharing global data, let's say there's a global variable, and this variable balance is a global variable, and all these threads, they are running a loop with only one statement doing balance is equal to balance plus 1.
सही.
Okay, they are sharing the same global variable and they are running concurrently, updating this global variable by executing the statement balance is equal to balance plus 1. Okay, so if
Right.
we run all these threads concurrently without any locks, do you think there can be a problem? Let me open that.
सर ये प्रॉब्लम हो सकती है कि, लेकिन वो फिर प्रॉब्लम तो ना आई वैसे कि सारी थ्रेड जो है एक साथ उसे एक्सेस करें एट द सेम टाइम.
Yes, but what is the value that we expect from that variable? Let's say here we had this. Oops, sorry. Yes, so we have this code which is running in this thread, all the threads, and this code basically in this example the name of the global variable is counter. So all these threads, they are running this same code which is basically updating the value of counter by doing counter is equal to counter plus 1.
सही.
So what can be a potential problem? I mean, let's say all the threads, they are running updating this code, and let's say for this example, let's say we have like 2 threads and this is like running for 10 million times.
सही है.
So what value of counter should we expect after when both of those threads are finished?
सर वो तो ठीक है लेकिन थ्रेड्स तो चलेंगी तो पूरी ना, तो लूप तो पूरी दफा चलेगा. तो 20 मिलियन होना चाहिए वैल्यूज
Okay.
की, क्योंकि 2 दफा लूप चलेगा पूरा.
Yes,
वो
so
बेशक मतलब एक पहले चलती है एक बाद में चलती है.
this loop will run in 2 threads, okay, and each of these thread will execute the loop 10 million times. So in the end, we expect the counter to be 20 million. Okay. Now you mentioned one scenario where one thread runs first and the other thread runs second. Okay? This is only one of the possible scenarios of scheduling between threads, because scheduling is not in our control, so any scheduling scenario can occur.
सर नहीं, उसके अलावा भी एक सिनेरियो ये भी तो हो सकता है, फॉर एग्जांपल अगर थ्रेड 1 चली है, वो बीच में फिर रुकी है, थ्रेड 2 स्टार्ट हो गई है, लेकिन
Yes.
मेरा पॉइंट ये था कि एट द एंड जब दोनों थ्रेड्स बेशक एक पहले चली है एक बाद में चली है, स्केड्यूल आगे पीछे हो रही हैं, आखिर में तो लूप पूरा ही चलेगा ना, तो वैल्यू 20 मिलियन ही आनी चाहिए.
Yes, loop will run 10 million times in each thread, whether they are run one after the other, whether they are run in parallel, okay, on different cores, or whether they are run interleaved. Interleaved in the sense that thread 1
Yes.
Runs for like 2 milliseconds and then it descheduled, then thread 2 runs for 2 milliseconds, then it descheduled, and then thread 1 runs again for 2 milliseconds, and then thread 2 again for 2 milliseconds. This way they are interleaved. So in every case, each thread will execute the loop 10 million times, and in every case, the total number of times this loop will be executed will be 20 million, both threads combined. So in every case, we expect the value of counter to be 20 million.
Okay.
But will the value of counter be 20 million every time?
Sir, can you repeat? I did not get what you were saying.
I mean, is it true that the value of counter will be 20 million every time we run this program? You see, there is this thread, and here in main we create two threads of this same function. Okay, and they basically update counter, and then we finish. We wait until the end of both threads, until both threads are finished, and then we display the value of counter. Okay, so that's a scenario that we just discussed. After both threads are finished, in whatever way they were scheduled, will the value of counter that will be displayed, will it always be 20 million?
Sir, always तो नहीं होती ना, यही तो मसला है.
Why is it not always 20 million?
सर यही तो समझ नहीं आ रही.
Let's take help from some of your friends. Can anybody explain to us why the value of counter will not be 20 million every time?
Sir, due to context switch.
Due to context switch, what may happen? Let me go to this page.
Race condition.
Yeah, race condition can happen. And what can be a race condition? Here, let's take this. You see, this is the instruction counter is equal to counter plus 1. It looks as one instruction in assembly, in C, but when it is compiled into assembly, it can generate more than one instructions. Okay, so counter is equal to counter plus 1. When it happens in assembly, it is these three instructions. Okay, so can somebody explain what what can context switch do, and why and how a race condition can happen?
Sir, if there are two threads running, they have some value. So the first thread increments its value at add and then doesn't save it to the set register, and then the context switch happens, and it all runs again, and when it runs again, it adds and then saves the value. So in some scenario, it'll be like the value will not be correct.
Good. So just to repeat what you said, let's say both threads are running right now. T1, they are running interleaved, and T1 is running, and the value of counter right now is, let's say it's 5,000. Okay, so value of counter now in RAM is 5,000. So thread 1, it will first load the value of counter from RAM into this register EX. So EX now it will contain 5,000, and then it will add 1 to this register to increment the counter. Okay. So value in EX will become 5001. Okay. And let's say at this point, before it stores this updated value into RAM again, a context switch happens. Context switch happens, this thread with all its contexts is descheduled. And thread 2 is scheduled. Thread 2 will run and it will basically read the value of counter from RAM. In RAM, counter value is still 5000. Okay. So it will read the value of counter into EX, then it will update it to 5001, and then it will store the value 5001 in RAM. Okay. And it continues to do so, incrementing and storing the value in RAM, let's say for next 5000 values, and the value of counter at a certain time becomes 10,000 in RAM. Okay. Now this thread 2, it has updated the value counter 5000 times, so it will be ultimately get descheduled. Okay. It gets descheduled. The value of counter in RAM is 10,000, and thread 1 is scheduled again. Okay. Thread 1 is scheduled again, and the context of thread 1, it will be loaded again in the processor. Okay. So this value of EX that was there for thread 1, it was saved in the context and it will be loaded again. Okay. And this value at that time was 5001. Okay. So what will happen is, when it will restart its execution, it will start from the point where it was stopped. Okay. So it had executed until this add instruction, and it was going to execute this store instruction. Okay. So thread 1, it will resume its execution from this instruction, store instruction, and it will store the value of counter that it has in RAM. Okay. So the value of counter that it has is 5001. So it will write the value 5001 in RAM, and the original value of the counter, which was 10,000, it will be overwritten by this value of thread 1. Okay. So all the work that thread 2 had done, it had incremented the counter 5000 times, it will be overwritten. Okay. And this way, although the value of counter should have been 10,001 right now, it has become 5001. Okay. So this way, it might happen that due to scheduling and descheduling, these threads may overwrite the values of each other, and ultimately, even though the loop has run 20 million times, the value of counter may not necessarily be 20 million at the end. Okay, so this way the output of our program has become indeterminate, and it depends on in which way the instructions are scheduled, in which sequence, and this condition, which results in indeterminate output, is called a race condition.
Sir.
Yes.
सर मतलब इन नटशेल ये होगा कि जिस तरह एक इंस्ट्रक्शन है कोड के अंदर, फॉर एग्जांपल हम लोग इंक्रीमेंट कर रहे हैं, लेकिन असेंबली के अंदर वो जो सर प्रोसेसर के ऊपर होगा वो 3 इंस्ट्रक्शंस हैं, सही है? तो थ्रेड्स के अंदर मतलब ये होता है कि कॉन्टेक्स्ट स्विच इन कभी भी हो सकता है कि फॉर एग्जांपल जो असेंबली का कोड है वो अगर पूरा एग्जीक्यूट नहीं भी हुआ, तो उससे पहले अगर कॉन्टेक्स्ट स्विच हो जाए तो वो मतलब कोड जब अगली बार थ्रेड दोबारा आएगी तो बेसिकली दोबारा जब थ्रेड आई तो वो कोड पूरा एग्जीक्यूट नहीं हुआ था, वो दोबारा एग्जीक्यूट हुआ और जो पिछला कोड था वो ओवरराइट हो गया. Am I right? इस तरह ही हुआ है.
The पिछला code is not overwritten. The value is overwritten. And when you said the assembly code is not executed, the thread is rescheduled, and when it is scheduled again, you said the code will be re-executed. The code will not be re-executed all of the code. The code will start its resume its execution from where it left off. Whatever has already been executed, it has been executed. It will continue from where it left off. In our example, we said that when the context switch happened, thread 1 had already executed the add instruction, okay, but it has not yet executed the second move instruction. Okay, so if the context switch happens right after the add instruction is executed, then the next time thread 1 comes or it is scheduled, it will resume its execution from wherever it left off, and it left off after the add instruction. Okay, so it will continue or resume its execution from the second move instruction. Okay, whatever has been already executed, it will not be executed again.
सही.
So is it clear why the value of counter will not always be 20 million?
सर ये तो फिर scheduling का मसला हुआ ना, तो threads का मसला तो ना हुआ.
Oh, that's why most of the problems in threads come from because scheduling is not in our control.
अच्छा, ठीक है सर.
And how do locks help us here?
सर फिर वो लॉक कर देते होंगे इस तरह कि मतलब कॉन्टेक्स्ट स्विच ना हो पहले जब तक वो कंप्लीट नहीं हुआ.
No, context switch is not in our control. Context switch can happen anytime. We can't control the context switch. What we can control is we can control the execution of this instruction.
अच्छा, ठीक है.
Even though context switch happens, we can, by using locks, we can force our threads to not execute this instruction until some other thread which is in the process of executing this instruction has finished this instruction. Okay, remember the problem was the problem happened because this instruction was interrupted in the middle. This is counter
Yes.
plus one instruction, and all three were not executed, and the
Sir,
context switch happened in the middle.
सर मैंने भी यही कहा है ना कि जब आप लॉक कर देते हैं तो इन द सेंस जब वो थ्रेड की एग्जीक्यूशन जब तक खत्म नहीं होती तो कॉन्टेक्स्ट स्विच नहीं होता ना. आप
No, context switch always happens. Context switch is done by the operating system. The operating system can do context switch anytime it wants.
Context switch बेसिकली जब थ्रेड की एग्जीक्यूशन का जब हम लोग वेट कर रहे होते हैं तो उस थ्रेड का कॉन्टेक्स्ट उसमें पड़ा होता है ना. जब वो स्विच करेगी तो तभी कॉन्टेक्स्ट स्विच होगा. तो फिर ये क्यों नहीं होता? मतलब एक एट एनी टाइम करें तो फिर लॉक का तो फायदा ना हुआ.
No, the context switch can happen, but if we protect this section of the code which we call critical section, this section we call it the critical section. If we could protect this critical section by using locks, by doing lock and unlock, doing lock before this section and doing unlock after this section, then we can guarantee that at any given time only one thread will execute this instruction. Okay, let's say you know the behavior of locks, like how locks work. If there's a lock, if there's a lock and multiple threads try to acquire this lock, then only one of the threads will succeed in acquiring this lock. For only one of the threads, this function will return. For all other threads, this function will block, and they will be put to sleep until the thread that has acquired the lock calls unlock.
सही है.
Okay. So let's say there's T1. All the threads follow the same protocol. They first acquire lock, then do counter is equal to counter plus one, and then release the lock by calling unlock. So let's say thread 1, it and thread 2, they both try to acquire this lock. Okay. Let's say thread 1 succeeds in acquiring this lock. Okay. And it's trying to do this increment, balance or counter is equal to counter plus 1. Okay. So let's say it's in the middle. It's in the middle here. It does add and it gets descheduled. Okay. It gets descheduled and by it is still holding the lock. And then thread 2 is scheduled. When thread 2 is scheduled, thread 2 will also try to increment this variable, but it will try to acquire the lock first. So what will happen when thread 2 tries to acquire the lock?
सर वो स्लीप हो जाएगी क्योंकि लॉक अवेलेबल नहीं है.
Exactly, it will go to sleep because lock is not available, and it will not be able to do balance equal to balance plus 1. Okay. So did the context switch happen?
Sir, context switch तो हुआ है.
Exactly. Okay, so we are not controlling the context switch. It's not under control. The context switch always happens. What we can do is we can basically block the execution of our thread if some other thread is doing the same operation. If some other thread is doing balance equal to balance plus 1, then by using this lock, we can block thread 2 to not do balance equal to balance plus 1 until thread 1, until thread 1 gets scheduled again, it finishes this instruction and releases the lock.
तो मतलब सर इन अ सेंस हम लोगों ने जो कोड एग्जीक्यूट करना था हमने उसको लॉक कर दिया है, और लेकिन कॉन्टेक्स्ट स्विच जो है मतलब थ्रेड का होता है लेकिन उसके पास वो डेटा नहीं होता, मतलब प्रो कोड नहीं होता जो एग्जीक्यूट कर सके, वो लॉक्ड होता है.
It has the code but it can't execute it.
सही है,
because first it has to acquire the lock before it can execute the critical section.
अच्छा 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 अच्छा, ठीक है सर.
How did you do the assignment then?
सर मैंने नहीं किया असाइनमेंट, मुझसे नहीं हुई.
Oh. Then you guys should have asked questions like nobody mailed me to ask any question about assignment, and nobody ever asked questions apart from one or two guys. Nobody ever asked any question in class. Okay, so is it clear the concept, how we use locks and why we use locks?
यस सर. अच्छा सर, एक और मेरा क्वेश्चन है कि ये तो हमारे पास उस केस में है ना कि हमने जो कोड लिखा हुआ है उसकी जो असेंबली बनेगी मतलब वो मोर देन वन इंस्ट्रक्शन होगी, फॉर एग्जांपल 2 3 4 इंस्ट्रक्शंस है, लेकिन वो कोड के अंदर मतलब हमारे पास एक सिंगल लाइन है. सही है. तो अगर हमारे पास फॉर एग्जांपल अगर जो असेंबली कोड है वो एक सिंगल इंस्ट्रक्शन हो, जिस तरह कोई सेव की इंस्ट्रक्शन है, तो उस केस में तो फिर एरर नहीं आएगा ना इस तरह का?
No, assembly instructions, they cannot be interrupted in the middle. Okay, one instruction, assembly instruction is executed only as one instruction. It cannot be interrupted in the middle in the sense that it executes atomically. It either executes completely or it does not execute at all. It cannot be interrupted in the middle.
तो सर ये जो पहले हम लोग कॉन्टेक्स्ट स्विच कर रहे थे उसके अंदर तो मतलब वहां पर वो स्टॉप हो जाती थी ना, तो वहां से दोबारा रिज्यूम होती थी, तो वो इंटरप्ट ना हुई?
No.
Before the lock.
One instruction, assembly instruction cannot be interrupted in the middle. When we did context switch, the interrupt happened after add instruction was executed. Add instruction was finished, and before move, the second move happened. The the interrupt happened in the middle of these two instructions, between these two instructions. What I'm saying is that one assembly instruction, it cannot be interrupted in the middle, in the sense that it cannot happen that this assembly instruction, it has half executed and half of it has not yet executed, and the interrupt context switch happens. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if you have asked your question, then it's my turn. Tell me, what should I ask you about?
यही लॉक से ही पूछ लें.
No, but the lock, something that we have not yet, at least discussed now. What can I ask about locks? How can we prevent deadlocks from happening? There are a few strategies that we can, one of your friends, he just told us what are the different conditions necessary for a deadlock to happen. Okay, so there are certain strategies that we can adopt so that one or more of those conditions, they never occur. Okay, so if one or more of those conditions never occur, then the deadlock will not happen. Okay, and we'll be able to prevent deadlocks in our program. So what are some of the strategies that can prevent deadlocks in our program?
सर जिस तरह म्यूचुअल एक्सक्लूजन अगर कर लें, रिसोर्सेज हम लोग सेपरेट कर लें. फॉर एग्जांपल अगर एक थ्रेड के पास एक रिसोर्स है और कोई और प्रोसेस मतलब थ्रेड उसके लिए वेट कर रहा है, तो वो जब तक वो दूसरा रिसोर्स छोड़ेगा नहीं तो वो दूसरी थ्रेड वेट ही करती रहेगी। तो हम लोग अगर एक्सक्लूजन कर ले कि हम लोग शेयर्ड रिसोर्सेज जो है उनको खत्म कर दें या फिर इस तरह कर दें।
No, if you like do not share resources between threads, then you lose most advantages of the threads. Okay, for example, this let's say this example of counter is equal to counter plus 1. If we are incrementing it, there are many things that we can do. Perhaps this counter is not a good example, but there are many things which we can do in parallel. And to do them in parallel, we have to, let's say we have one shared resource, global resource, so we have to share it between different threads. So if you have to share resources between different threads, it makes easier to do things in parallel with threads, and our programs will run faster. Okay. Another, I mean, in the same vein that you said, as a very simple way to avoid deadlocks is never to have more than one thread. Okay, but that basically will make us lose all the advantages that we get with threads. So we want to keep threads, we want to keep sharing data between threads, but at the same time, we would like to avoid deadlocks if possible.
So
what can be some of the strategies to avoid deadlocks? Okay, so if you don't know this, then tell us what is a condition variable used for?
सर कंडीशन वेरिएबल्स लॉक्स के अंदर इस्तेमाल होते हैं?
No.
सर मतलब एक कंडीशन वेरिएबल्स हम लोग चेक करते हैं, अगर एक कंडीशन ट्रू है तो हम लोग थ्रेड मतलब उसको इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं स्टेट ऑथेंटिकेशन के।
Yeah, we check whether a condition is true or not. And what do we do? What does the thread do if the condition is not true?
वेट करते हैं, waiting on the
Okay.
condition.
Yes, it can be used to wait on a condition. Okay, so we can make that our threads to wait until a condition becomes true. That's correct. How can we, I mean, what's the use of condition variables in producer consumer problem? This was like your assignment also. Do you know what the producer consumer problem is?
Sir, I have तो छोटा सा आइडिया मुझे कि ये फॉर एग्जांपल जिस तरह इसमें प्रोड्यूसर होते हैं और कंज्यूमर होते हैं, अब इसमें ये है कि कंज्यूमर तब तक कंज्यूम नहीं कर सकता जब तक आपके पास जो डेटा है वो एम्प्टी है, और प्रोड्यूसर तब तक प्रोड्यूस नहीं कर सकता जब तक वो फुल है। तो इसके अंदर हम लोग कंडीशनल वेरिएबल इस तरह इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं कि अगर फॉर एग्जांपल अगर वो फुल है तो फिर प्रोड्यूसर जो है वो प्रोड्यूस नहीं करेगा, वो वेट करेगा, और अगर वो एम्प्टी है तो जो कंज्यूमर है वो कंज्यूम नहीं करेगा, वो वेट करेगा। तो थ्रेड उस वक्त तक वेट करेगी, जब वो कंडीशन ट्रू हो जाएगी तो फिर वो एग्जीक्यूट करेगी।
Okay, good. And when the buffer is half full, what happens? You said about empty and full. What happens if the buffer is half full or half empty?
सर उसका नहीं आइडिया।
It's very simple. Huh? Okay. Okay.
सर
Thank
मतलब
you.
अगर
हाँ.
अगर वो हाफ फुल हो या हाफ एम्प्टी हो तो मतलब कंज्यूम भी तो हो सकता है और प्रोड्यूस भी तो हो सकता है, दोनों चीजें साइमल्टेनियसली तो हो सकती हैं.
Exactly. That's what I wanted to hear. And you are saying that I have no idea. Okay.
चलिए सर.
Thank you
ओके,
very
थैंक
much.
यू.
Thank you. 2018 468. Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can you tell us what a file system is?
So I haven't studied this topic. You can ask me from the paging, threads, or producer-consumer problems.
Okay. So tell us what is internal fragmentation?
सर इंटरनल फ्रेगमेंटेशन तब होती है जब फॉर एग्जांपल हमारे पास कोई मेमोरी की रिक्वेस्ट आई है और हमने उसको सेटिस्फाई करना है. तो अब ये होता है कि हम उसको एक मेमोरी का ब्लॉक दे देते हैं, लेकिन वो जो मेमोरी का ब्लॉक है उसमें कुछ मेमोरी वेस्ट हो जाती है, यानी कि कुछ यूजेबल होती है जो कि उस रिक्वेस्ट को सेटिस्फाई करने के लिए यूज हो जाती है और कुछ बाकी रह जाती है. तो वो जो डिफरेंस होता है उस मेमोरी के दरमियान जो हमने उसे दी और जो यूज हुई, दैट इज कॉल्ड द इंटरनल फ्रेगमेंटेशन.
Okay, so the memory that is wasted within an allocated block is called internal fragmentation.
Yes.
Good. So this internal fragmentation, is it more likely in segmentation or is it more likely in paging in terms of memory management by OS?
Sir, it is more like in paging.
Why?
Sir, जैसा कि हमारे पास there are specific sizes of pages. For example, we have a page size of 2 KB. Okay, and there is a request we have. So if a request comes like 3 KB size of page, request comes 3 KB and we assign it. We cannot assign it the 2 KB. Okay, we have to assign it 4 KB, like the two pages. So there is an internal fragmentation of 1 KB. So that 1 KB is wasted.
Good. And okay, so internal fragmentation is more likely in paging. So does paging have external fragmentation?
No, sir. There is no external fragmentation, and if it does, then we solve it by the compaction.
No. If it does it happen or not in paging?
It happens, but we solve it through the compaction.
In paging, it happens.
Yes, sir. It happens. For example, we have the holes created. No, sir. It doesn't happen. Sorry.
So when are the holes created? Where, in which scheme are holes created?
No, sir. In paging, it doesn't happen.
Okay, but coming to your comment, you mentioned holes. When are holes created? When do they occur?
Sir, holes are created when programs are loaded into the memory and then they are removed. So we have the holes created. So that is the external fragmentation, and we solve it by the compaction. Like we move the holes towards one direction, and the programs or the memory segments which are being used by the programs are moved into the another direction.
Yeah, but this allocation of programs in memory, etc., which scheme is it using right now when holes are happening? Is it using paging or is it using segmentation?
It is using segmentation.
Okay, good. Okay, what else can we ask you?
सर टाइम हो गया।
What is it? It's still 40. Time is still 45. So, okay, thank you 468. So 2018-507. Are you there? Twenty 507. We are hearing all kind of voices except your voice. Twenty 507. Are you there? Twenty 507. Are you there?
सर उसने चैट में कमेंट किया।
Okay. Can you tell us what a file system is? Okay, so what have you studied? Or tell us what are certain strategies that we can adopt to avoid deadlocks in our programs. Okay, 507, you are not responding, so we move to 515. 2018-515, are you there? Twenty 515, are you there?
सर वो भी चैट में कमेंट किया।
Okay, can you tell us what are certain strategies that we can adopt to avoid deadlocks in our program? Okay, you have started studying threads. Okay, tell us what is a thread. 515, can you tell us what is a thread? Thread is like a separate process. I'm afraid not. Thread is different from a separate process. How is thread different from a separate process? Come again. Okay. You said thread is like a separate process. I'm saying it's not quite correct. Thread is not like a separate process. So how is thread different from a separate process? What is the difference between a thread and a process? Threads share the same memory space. When you say memory space, what do you mean? Do you mean the RAM? What do you mean by memory space? Okay, my sound is breaking. Okay, so the time of the class is up. I guess most of you are quite unprepared, at least in this current state that you are. So I urge you to please study the book chapters, watch the book, the YouTube videos, and prepare for your exams. Okay, because if you take your exams in the state that you are currently in, I'm afraid most of you are not going to score very well. Okay, so memory space, address. Okay, thank you. Yes, memory space, not address space is the correct word. That threads share the same address space. Okay, thank you. So please, I urge you all to study for this exam. Otherwise, the results might not be good. I mean, the marks that you'll get. So I'll end it here. I'll upload this video. This video doesn't contain much, but still I'll upload it. It's only Q&A on YouTube. And right now, those who are present, they can mark their attendance here in this chat. And I don't know whether there'll be classes next week or not. Do you guys know whether there'll be class next week or not?
Sir, there won't be.
Okay, so in any case, if there's any update, I'll send you an email. Else, we'll meet in exams perhaps. Okay. So thank you very much and stay safe and take care of yourselves. I'll stop the recording now.